we'll call to order here. Mark, do we need to say the names of who's here? Last time I asked us to say the names, but I don't know if we need to because we have the Zoom.
Well, it helps when, because I'm not doing the minutes, it helps when the office clerk is doing the minutes, just so that she knows who's in attendance.
All right, so we'll call to order, and we'll just do is we'll go around and just say your name on the call. So Mike DeFranco.
Jim Steffes.
Jerry Stein.
Ben Morse.
Megan Raymond.
And Mark Berry.
All right. So first order of business is approval of the minutes from last meeting. Mark did send out the packet with all the info in them. So before we kind of make a motion to approve them, did anyone have any questions or comments on them? Okay, I will make a motion to accept the September minutes as written and documented.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, next order of business. Citizens, petitions, and comments. Mark, we'll start with you if you had any.
No, none. Not outside the usual.
Okay, other commissioners, any feedback or floor is open? All right, we'll go to town council referrals, Mark.
There are none.
Okay. Correspondence and communications from commissioners. Floor is open again if anyone has anything they want to bring up. Okay, we'll move on to the reports. Mark, the director's report, if you want to give a quick summary there.
Yeah, in addition to what was included in the packet, I did want to let folks know that there is a community event coming up on Friday, December 5th. It's entitled The Seasons of Celebrations. It's being held at Thrive 55, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m. And we have a snowflake drop, so the fire department shows up with their hook and ladder truck, and they send a fireman up to the peak, and he drops down snowflakes that have different gifts that people can turn in and receive a gift. We also get a visit from Santa Claus, and there's a hayride, and there's cookies and hot chocolate, and there's a number of events that are going on. And one thing that we've done this year is we've added what we're calling the chill room, and it is for those children and adults who are, I would say, easily overstimulated, but it's more of a calm environment where they can still partake in the event, but some children and some adults can get stressed out with lots of noise and lights and whatnot. So we've added that as kind of an accommodation to those families that may have a child or a young adult that is, could be subject to that type of situation where they get uncomfortable. But this would still allow them to participate just in a more calming environment. So that's something that we've added this year.
Sounds good, Mark. You said that was the 5th for everyone?
What's that?
That was the 5th of December?
Yes, the 5th of December from 6 to 8. And there's also, we're doing this in conjunction with the library, and there's going to be a gingerbread display over at the library. And I think maybe even a gingerbread house making event over at the library. We've been doing this for a number of years now, and it continues to grow.
Okay. I know I had a question. It was from kind of, I think, last meeting. It was talking about the work orders. You start to put in the director's report, like the work order backlog and all that stuff. Good info. Is it from your perspective, is it a healthy backlog? Meaning like the turnaround time for work orders to get done, do you think we're on par? I mean, I don't have a basis to say good, bad, and different. I have a bunch of data, but I don't know how to analyze it. So.
Right. Yeah. So, it fluctuates depending on the season. There tends to be a backlog during the growing season because we spend a substantial amount of time mowing and string trimming and fitting in other projects when we can. When things, I don't want to say slow down, but kind of transition. We don't have as much grass to mow and it starts slowing down. We shift to other things right now. We're in the middle of picking up leaves at different parts. So this time of year, the lag time between when a request comes in and when it gets completed is shorter.
Okay. I don't have anything else. Other commission members' questions on the director's report?
Nope.
All right, we'll move on to golf course. Mark, if you wanted to add anything besides what was in the report. Again, we're just kind of normal meeting, so basic questions on revenue for the course and like that. But all the questions we did ask will be deferred to the December meeting.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't have anything else to report other than the October revenue report, which was included in the packet. And the good news is we're tracking ahead of last year by a little over 100,000.
Trails Coordinating Task Force.
Yeah, so let me, well, first, hopefully everybody knows the bond passed. I don't have the final count, but I think it was like 3-1 in favor, which is encouraging. And I did want to go through kind of the sequence of next steps and estimated timeline. And this is coming from Greg Hanover, who is the Director of Public Works. So the next step will be to develop an RFQ for design, construction, and bidding, and construction admin. And that's the RFQ and that's request for qualifications is being put together by Public Works, and they expect that that's going to take from November to probably January. January and February, they'll be advertising and receiving consultant qualification submittals. From February through March, they'll be reviewing, developing a short list, and interviewing the most qualified consultants. In April, they will develop a detailed scope of services and negotiate fees with the consultant. May through October, they're anticipating designing the permitting process. In November of 26, they'll advertise for bids. December through January, now this is at 27, review bids and award contract, and construction would begin in February of 27 and is anticipated to take 12 months. So that would go through January of 28. And he did make a note that the track and field would be unavailable to any event through 2027. And this is just for phase one, which is the work is primarily up at the high school. And we're hopeful that phase two would there'd be a bond referendum next year for phase two, which would include, currently it is scheduled to include work at Colchester, those both the school and the field.
Okay, Mark, so I know I've been in communication with Dan G, one of our kind of elected officials too. So some info for everyone is he's planning to prepare for the state to ask for the rest of the money for the fields now that we've approved this. Don't know if that'll get approved. But I did also hear that there's another grant for somewhere between the $5 and $10 million that could potentially be used for Colchester for I think it was like a Brown property or derelict property or something of that. I can't remember the exact nature. Are you aware of that, Mark? And is there anything you need to do for that to make that happen?
I have not heard that there's currently other grant opportunities available, but that changes day to day as press releases come out and different organizations, either state or federal, announce that there's money available for different projects. And the plan is, it wasn't included in the timeline presented, but the goal is to have, before we actually request the money, the goal is to have a solid budget. So the last thing we want to happen is for us to request the 14 million and then find that the project comes in at 15 and a half. So the plan is before we wait for the money, before we request the money, we're going to make sure that the budget is, or the bids come in at the projected cost currently.
Makes sense. Thank you. The other thing I had, Mark, was have you so has there been discussions between the town, yourself, and Grosso Tech, call it fields director there, to start maybe sharing some of those Grosso Tech spaces with the town? And maybe it's because I know they have a big concern with liability, and even though the state has millions of dollars in liability insurance, but here nor there for a second. Has there been discussions between maybe yourself, the town manager, and them to have them be a shared space with either, some type of understanding with or falling under the town's insurance policy or something of that? Have we done that conversation?
I think any conversation about it, and this would probably take place between the athletic director at the high school and the athletic director at Grosso, about sharing fields. We have tried in the past to get access to fields at Grosso, and from my understanding in previous discussions, it's actually not a decision that can even be made at Grosso Tech. They have to pick it up to somebody in the state. And so the process is very difficult to get access to those fields. And I'm not aware if the town manager has had any type of discussions with either the superintendent or the athletic director. I know that we have previously, like I said, submitted requests, and usually the process takes so long, but by the time we hear back, but what we're told is, well, it'll be a couple of months, and at that point, the need has passed.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have questions on the trails or the fields?
I was just going to chime in. They did let us use it once in like gym space. They're pretty good with letting us use it. The town itself, if we need it, but we don't need a lot of field space for the things that we do, like soccer club. Those different groups are restricted and have to fall through those guidelines. There hasn't been like a mutual sharing agreement of any kind.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, I'm going to try to talk with Dan, or a representative from the state, and see, because to me, I think the town and holistically need some type of agreement, right? And if that's maybe the elected officials can help with that from a state level, but sidebar, so thanks. Anyone else? All right, unfinished business. I don't think we had any, but Mark, do we?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right, new business, Mark.
Under new business, the Golf Advisory Board, they currently have, they've got 3 vacancies. One is a resident representative, one is a non-resident representative, and there's actually supposed to be, there is an opportunity for somebody from the Parks and Recreation Commission to be a voting member of the Golf Advisory Board, but that is currently, that position is not currently filled. So I did include in the packet 3 applications that we've received to fill those 2 positions. And it is up to the Parks and Rec Commission to make a decision about who they would like to serve or fill those 2 vacant positions. So I included the applications in the packet, and hopefully everybody's had a chance to read those.
So, Mark, before we discuss, names and everything like that, just so we're clear, there's 2 spots vacancies, and currently there's 3 people requesting those 2 spots. Is that a good summary?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So everyone knows in the packet, I think, and I did a little recon, asking people ahead of time. Page 18 through the end is the 3 names. So I kind of think it's open discussion at this point. And then do we have to do a motion to vote, or how do we officially do it once we get down to that, Mark?
Yes, I would have somebody make a motion and then have the commission vote on that motion.
Okay. All right. So let's open the floor first for Q&A, or if anyone had any comments on the folks the 3 folks that were there.
Mike hates Megan. I'm not prepared. I'll try to read as we're going, but I didn't actually get to the bottom of the packet. So my apologies on that.
So why don't we just take a couple minutes then, so you can digest, it'll probably take you somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes to look at, if you go to page 18 in the packet, there's a couple questions on the people, right? You can read them at least, so you can make an intelligent vote. I know I did speak to some of the club members beforehand to see, get feedback, we'll say, on some of the people, just to see if they had any pros or cons. So I did some outreach to the public, but why doesn't everyone we'll just say it's 4:25. You want to just say we take 5 minutes real quick, and then 4:30 we'll come back and discuss this way everyone has a chance to read the applications?
That's fine with me, but if you guys are ready, I can just listen in and fill in. It's completely up to you, guys. Yeah. I'm looking at it now.
I don't know if others have not read them, so I'll answer that.
Yeah, so Mike, this is Terry. I read the whole thing. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, so do we have any selection criteria? What are we looking for? Things like that, or pretty much based on the resume, whoever qualified. So do we have any selection criteria? Like you have to be a resident, you have to be familiar with golf or something?
That's a great question. We've never, in my time on the panel here, we've never had this permutation come up where we needed to officially anyone to the GAB board. So, Mark, I'm going to turn that question to you.
Yeah, so there's been open positions for a while. The turnover has been with like the men's club representative, the women's club representative. Those just turn over when there's new presidents, and the Parks and Rec Commission doesn't really, they just turn over, and there hasn't needed to be any type of a discussion about who should be, because it happens automatically. So we've had people that have stepped away at this time. Others have served for a while, but now that we've had some step away, that's why there's vacancies.
Okay, thanks.
So just to be clear, they don't need to be residents to be on the board.
Well, there's a resident representative vacant position, and there's a non-resident representative position vacant. So of the three, the commission would need to select one resident and one non-resident.
Let me look. I want to
Okay.
see if I know any of these people.
So, Mark, it does look like 2 of the applicants are non-residents and 1 is a resident based upon the address. And I assume that's what we're going off of for residents.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep. 1 woman in Groton, 2 males, 1 Ledyard, 1 New London.
And I think Marie, if I remember that name, I feel like she's on the commission now. And I think it did say I think she's the one who did all the like the Excel collation last year in December. Mark, am I thinking correctly?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, Marie. Right.
Yeah, Marie has she just finished her term as the women's club representative.
Yeah.
And she expressed interest in coming back and serving in a different role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know Usha Wade. She plays a lot of golf at Shinnecock with her husband. She's
I'm corrected. I made a mistake then. I said 2 males, 2 females, 1 male. Not that it matters, but it's just.
yeah. She's a former Pfizer scientist that now is consults. She's out there on the course probably 3 days a week. She's a big player. Yeah. Yeah, real nice. Pretty bright. Yeah.
And Terry, just to answer your question, I looked up the golf advisory board. There's not a lot of information, but under powers and duty, it says the purpose is to assist the department in implementing the National Golf Foundation study recommendations and to be an advocacy group for the Shinnecock Golf Course. Under specific powers and duties, it says the board makes recommendations to the Parks and Rec Commission.
Makes sense. Sounds good.
I'm just making up a little chart so when we vote, that's simple for me to tally. Yeah. Great. So what I propose we do is we kind of break it up into resident and non-resident, because that's how we have to kind of fill the position anyway. So really for the resident, you have an option to say yes for Marie or no for Marie. And then the second round would be for the non-resident position, and I think we just go person by person and say who you want or none. And then once we get the tally, the way I propose to do it is once we get the majority vote, we would just make a motion to accept that majority. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Hey,
Okay.
one question, Mike. Does anybody know Chuck Potter?
I don't personally know him. I did ask some questions on both the non-residents to some folks just to get some background. Chuck, it seems like from the info I got, right? I don't know the guy, so I'm not, I'm getting some info from parties that I asked. He is part of the men's club. He's currently a school teacher. He used to be a writer for the London Day. But he is part of the men's club and he does play there a bunch is what I got out of kind of a quick snap.
Okay.
I think we'll start with the resident position. And what we'll do is switch it. Marie, so the answer is yes, like, or no. I think that's simple. So I'll go first and I'll say, yeah, I think she did a good job with all the Excel and the metrics last time, bringing them and collating them. I think she brought a good skill to the team. So I would say, yes, I'm good with her for the resident position. I'll just go to, I have a list of our names here. I'll just go down. Megan, I mean, we'll let you read a little more. Let's go to Jim. Let's go to you in case Megan wants to read more of the resume stuff. So
Yeah,
Jim,
I'm a yes for Marie. Yep.
Terry.
Yes, I'm a
It's
yes.
It's a yes for me as well. Very impressive resume.
All right, Megan.
Yes, for me as well. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll say Marie gets that. We'll do the full motion at the end. All right, for the non-resident, then again, the options are Chuck or is it
Usha?
Usha? Usha, is that how you say it?
Usha.
Usha. All right, got it. Thanks. All right, so we'll go for bottom list. So Terry, we'll start with you.
Okay, I will select Wusha.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Chuck. Megan, will go to you.
Usha?
And Jim.
Usha.
Right. All right. So Usha has the most votes there. So basically, then from majority, we have Marie and Usha being the two that we are okay going on the council. I don't have any objections to that. So I'm going to make a motion, Mark, to kind of accept those two. And then I think that'll be a good way to go. So from tonight's meeting, we're looking for two more golf board members. I'm going to make a motion to accept Marie as the resident seat and Usha as the non-resident seat.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right. Any other new business, Mark?
No, not at this time.
All right. So really the next thing is the next meeting. So Mark, is the plan to have it on the 17th and to have it at the course at 3:30? You can work out logistics, between now and then, but is that the plan so we're all aware?
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay. Anyone have anything before we kind of make a motion to adjourn?
Don't.
All right. I'll make the motion to adjourn for the night.
I'll second that.
All right. Have a good Thanksgiving all, and we'll link up next month.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you all. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Dude, bye. Take care.